Okay, so picture this. It's 1980,
Okay.
and we have this young man, Randy Leech. Brilliant guy,
Mm-hmm.
wins a national scholarship, beats out like 350,000 other students,
Wow.
could have had a future at the UN,
Yeah.
turns his back on it all, decides to hitchhike across the American West,
Searching for something.
searching for something more,
Uh-huh.
something deeper,
Right.
and then
And then,
vanishes. Gone.
poof. That's the story we're diving into today.
Yeah,
The mystery of Randy Leech.
it's a cold case.
Oh, it is.
It's as baffling as it is heartbreaking.
It really is. You know, what gets me about this case is how it just flips everything we think we know on its head.
Yeah.
Here's this young man, right?
Yeah.
Seems like he's about to hit it big.
Total success.
And he decides, nope, different path for me.
Yeah.
Chooses a different path. And it's that path
Yeah.
that leads to him disappearing.
It really makes you think, about choices.
It does.
What really matters?
It makes you think about what we chase after in life,
Yeah.
What we think will make us happy.
What we give up for it. It's like,
Yeah.
what was he searching for?
Exactly.
That's the big question.
What was it out there that called to him?
And, from what we've been looking at, it seems like Randy was a deep thinker.
Oh, absolutely.
And he wasn't really into, the whole material success thing,
Nope. Not at all.
especially after his time in Africa,
Yeah, that experience really seemed to shape him.
studying social justice there.
It's like he saw a different side of the world.
A different side of life.
And it changed him.
Changed his whole outlook. And get this.
Yeah.
He even turned down that amazing scholarship.
You're kidding.
The one that everyone wanted.
The one. Funded by Shell Oil.
Wow. That's a statement.
Right?
It really is. It says a lot about his principles.
Like, he wanted to live a life that was true to himself,
Yeah.
Even if it meant walking away from a big opportunity.
Absolutely. You don't see that every day. It's almost like he was wrestling with this big question, like, what's the point of success if you got to compromise your values?
That's the heart of it, isn't it?
It is.
The age-old dilemma. Success versus integrity.
And it's that struggle, I think, that adds another layer to this whole mystery.
Oh, for sure.
Did his search for a different kind of life lead to his disappearance?
Right.
Or was there something darker going on?
That's what we're trying to figure out.
Okay, so the last place anyone saw Randy,
Yeah.
a dairy farm in Idaho,
Yeah.
remote. The Reed Dairy Farm, November 4th, 1980.
Okay.
He showed up looking for work, temporary work.
Mm-hmm.
The owner, Larry Reed, he offered Randy a place to stay, some cash, in exchange for helping build a shed.
Seems pretty straightforward.
It does.
But when you dig deeper, things get a little murky.
Yeah.
Larry Reed's story about Randy leaving,
How about it?
it's not quite straight. It's inconsistent.
How so?
He told investigators at first that he saw Randy walking towards the highway in the morning.
Okay.
But later, different story. Oh? Said he saw him from the kitchen sink.
Interesting.
So, which is it?
Yeah, which is it. And why would Randy just walk off like that? He left without his pay.
Really?
Yeah, and even a pair of jeans.
Jeans.
The owner's wife had just washed them for him.
Wow.
It's like he vanished.
Leaving stuff behind.
Important stuff.
It doesn't add up.
It really does.
And you know what makes it even weirder?
What?
The Idaho authorities. They didn't do a very thorough job investigating.
You're kidding.
Not kidding.
Wow.
They basically took Larry Reed's word for it. Never even filed a missing person report for Randy.
No way.
I know, right?
That's hard to believe.
It is.
This young man, so much potential, just vanishes.
Yeah.
And the authorities barely react.
It makes you wonder how seriously they took missing persons cases back then.
Yeah, especially if the person was maybe, trying to live a different kind of lifestyle.
Right.
It's a disturbing thought.
It is.
And for Randy's family, it's just devastating.
Of course.
No answers.
No closure.
Just this agonizing uncertainty, not knowing what happened to their son.
Yeah, awful.
They've been trying so hard to find him.
I bet.
Putting up posters, contacting organizations, even looking into those groups, the Christ family and the Rainbow family. They won't give up.
Incredible dedication.
It is. And then there's this creepy detail.
Yeah.
The silent phone calls.
Silent phone calls.
Randy's family got these calls where they could hear someone breathing,
Wow.
but no one would speak.
Chilling.
Could it have been Randy
Maybe.
trying to contact them without revealing where he was?
It's possible.
He was calling them regularly from payphones before he disappeared.
Yeah.
But why wouldn't he talk?
Right. That's the question.
Was he in danger?
Or did he want to stay hidden?
So many unanswered questions.
It's a puzzle.
And the lack of a real police investigation.
Frustrating, isn't it?
Infuriating.
Like they didn't even try.
And to top it off, the investigative notes from the Bonneville County Sheriff's Office are gone.
Gone.
Lost in a flood, apparently.
Seriously?
Yeah, it's like this case just slipped through the cracks.
Back then, before the internet, national databases, it was easier for things to get lost.
Tragic.
It really is.
Makes you wonder how many other families are out there.
Oh, I'm sure there are more.
Wondering what happened to their loved ones.
Yeah.
Their pleas for answers just ignored.
It's a sad thought. But you know, what Randy's family did, it really makes you think.
Oh, yeah.
They didn't just sit back and accept it.
They fought back.
They did. They became advocates.
For their son.
For their son, and for others like him.
Raising awareness, demanding accountability.
They made a difference.
They did.
You know, their efforts, they didn't just shine a light on Randy's case. They actually helped improve the way missing person cases are handled.
Especially cases like Randy's.
Right. People who are maybe living unconventional lifestyle.
Living outside the box.
It's pretty remarkable what they accomplished.
It is. They just wouldn't give up.
They wouldn't let their son be forgotten.
Even when it seemed like everyone else had.
It's powerful.
It is. It's a testament to, well, resilience.
Absolutely.
Their unwavering commitment to finding the truth.
They weren't deterred by the lack of support.
Not at all.
They took matters into their own hands.
They went on those cross-country trips.
Countless hours putting up flyers.
Chasing down every lead.
No matter how small.
It speaks to a deep love, you know?
Oh, definitely.
And a determination that I think a lot of parents can relate to.
They wouldn't let their son become just a statistic.
Another forgotten face.
They humanized him, made it impossible to ignore.
It's a reminder that even when things seem impossible,
Yeah.
the power of family,
The power of love.
it can fuel incredible action.
Yeah.
And, you know, their work actually had a real impact.
It did.
Years later, this retired detective from Wisconsin, Robert Thurman,
Okay.
he took an interest in the case. Personal interest. He had actually taken Randy's father's missing person report back in 1980.
Oh, wow.
So he felt a responsibility to see it through.
That's amazing.
So he travels to Idaho,
Wow.
re-interviews witnesses, and he starts uncovering these discrepancies in Larry Reed's story.
Really?
Yeah,
That's interesting.
it is. Thurman, he brought a glimmer of hope to the case.
He did. He was experienced.
Dedicated.
Not bound by the same limitations as the local authorities.
He had a fresh perspective.
And he really scrutinized every detail.
He did. And his efforts, they shed new light on the inconsistencies surrounding Randy's disappearance
From the farm.
from the dairy farm. He noticed inconsistencies in Larry Reed's story about Randy's departure.
Okay.
And he questioned why they never did a thorough search of the farm itself. He also brought up this thing about a pair of jeans.
Jeans?
Randy was supposed to be wearing them when he left,
Okay.
but they were never found.
Huh.
So these jeans, they became a focal point of Thurman's investigation.
Interesting. Sometimes it's those little details that can break a case open.
They can.
And you know what Thurman's work showed?
What?
That the initial investigation,
Yeah.
they missed a lot.
Overlooked things.
It makes you wonder what else they might have missed.
It does.
It's a bit unsettling, isn't it?
It is.
Thinking about what might have happened on that farm.
It brings us to the possibility of foul play.
Yeah.
Something more sinister
Happening to Randy.
on that isolated dairy farm.
It's definitely a possibility.
We've looked into some theories,
Some unsettling theories.
to say the least.
Randy vanishing from a remote location like that.
Yeah.
And then there are those inconsistencies in Larry Reed's story.
They just fuel the suspicion.
And the fact that they never properly searched the farm.
It's a huge gap in the investigation.
Missionaries.
And then there's this detail about the missionaries. They had dinner with Randy the night before he disappeared. But the police never interviewed them. Who were they?
Right, who were they?
What did they talk about with Randy?
Maybe they knew something.
About his state of mind.
His plans.
It's a missed opportunity.
It is. Every interaction, every piece of information, it could be a clue.
And the fact that they're missing from the official investigation,
It just deepens the mystery.
it does.
This case just gets stranger and stranger.
It really does.
Yeah.
And it shows how important it is to really investigate thoroughly,
Oh, absolutely.
especially in a missing person case.
Especially when you don't know why the person disappeared.
Was Randy really trying to live off the grid?
Right.
Or did something happen?
That made him hide.
Or worse,
These are the questions that haunt this case.
decades later,
And as time goes
the
on,
trail gets colder.
Memories fade.
Witnesses are harder to find.
It's a race against time.
But that doesn't mean the search for answers has stopped.
No, not at all.
Technology has opened up new avenues for investigation.
We have tools now that they didn't have back then.
They've entered Randy's DNA into national databases.
Checking for matches with unidentified remains.
Hoping for a break.
Hoping for some closure for his family.
There's always that hope that someone out there knows something.
Yeah.
Someone saw something.
I've heard something.
That maybe seems small at the time.
Insignificant.
But could be the key.
The missing piece of the puzzle.
Sometimes it just takes one person to come forward.
To share what they know.
To change everything.
It happens.
So if you're listening,
then you know something about Randy Leech.
Anything at all.
No matter how small.
Don't stay silent.
Reach out.
To the authorities.
To the investigators.
They're still working on this case.
Trying to bring Randy home.
You could hold the answer.
You could be the one.
You know, it's a strange thought.
What's that?
Even now, even with all the technology and everything, there's still cases like Randy's. Cases we just can't solve.
Yeah, it shows you, doesn't it? How complex people are, how good we are at keeping secrets.
It's like some mysteries just resist being solved.
It's true. But I don't think that means we should lose hope.
No, definitely not. But Randy's story, it reminds us of something.
Of what?
That every missing person, they leave this hole.
A void.
Yeah.
This ripple effect of pain.
Questions. Questions with no answers.
And it goes way beyond the family.
It touches communities.
Even people who get drawn into the search years later.
Like us.
Exactly.
It's a loss for everyone.
It is a reminder of how fragile we are.
And it makes you want to keep searching.
To keep asking those questions.
To keep their memory alive.
Absolutely. We can't let them be forgotten.
And, you know, the sources talk about the psychological impact on the families.
Oh, yeah. It's huge.
The not knowing.
The constant wondering.
It's got to be a huge weight to carry.
It is. It's like a special kind of grief.
Ambiguous loss, they call it.
That's it. Ambiguous loss.
Yeah.
Because there's no answer, no closure.
Just stuck in this limbo.
Between hope and despair.
And that's where support systems are so crucial.
Absolutely. People to lean on.
To share that burden.
To help keep the hope alive.
There are organizations out there doing great work.
Like NAMUS. The National Missing and Unidentified Persons System.
They provide resources.
Support.
A place to share information.
It can help connect those dots.
Even in those really dark times.
There are people who care.
Dedicated to helping families.
Navigate the loss.
And keep searching for answers.
It takes a village, as they say.
It does.
It takes collaboration. Law enforcement, experts, the public, all working together.
Trying to solve these mysteries. So what can our listeners do if they want to learn more about Randy's case?
Or help.
Yeah.
Well, in the show notes, we'll have links.
To resources, more information about Randy.
Details about the investigation, contact info for the authorities.
Even the smallest thing.
Something that seems totally unimportant.
Could be the missing piece.
The thing the investigators need.
A fresh perspective.
A new bit of information.
It could be a breakthrough.
You never know.
Randy's case, it shows us something. Even with all our technology, some mysteries just hang on.
They do.
But it also shows us the power of not giving up.
Of hope.
The incredible love of a family.
Determined to find their son.
And it reminds us that every missing person, they deserve justice.
To have their story told.
To be brought home. Let's help bring Randy home.